How does a Scrum Master perform their role without becoming effectively a project manager? How are they differentiated? Because I think you imagine if you're a peer. Anyway, you kind of get the idea of this question, right? The
Yeah, I
fear
think so.
is, aren't they just going to be seen as a project manager?
I'll start. Nothing against the profession of project management. It's just not for me. It's not something that I typically enjoy. So I've had to face this before where I've been trying to fulfill the accountability of Scrum Master, and the inertia of the organization around me is trying to push me to be a project manager. And so, I try to just kind of take a very reflexive stance, meaning when those things come to me, like, hey, you're the Scrum Master, therefore it's your job to fill in the blank, dole out the tasks to individuals, solve the problems, deal with the minutia of what's going on and forecasting and all that. I just kind of let that bounce off of me and say, oh, that's a problem that needs to be solved. Let me, it's kind of cliche, but I think it makes sense. Let me take that to the team. Or there's a decision to be made. Let me stand squarely in the facilitation stance, because as a Scrum Master, other than maybe protecting the integrity of the framework, I don't really have any decision-making authority. It's not my job to make decisions for the team. It's not my job to solve the problems for the team. I may help, I may add ideas, I may facilitate, but I don't have ultimate authority or decision-making power for really anything within the Scrum framework. That's how I would start. Rob, what do you think?
Well, man, if you're the type of person who likes to get stuff done and you don't really care about the people around you in order to get
Mm,
stuff done, you very quickly fall into a project manager role. Like, oh, this task needs to be executed, needs to be done by April. And you just take the lead and you start running with it and making sure all the dots are connected and T's are crossed and all that. If that's your default stance, you're gonna struggle with this. But if you can stop for a second and go, if I take that on, I now enable the team to let me keep taking these types of tasks on. Like I'm the one that always calls the boss when something goes wrong. I'm always the one who runs the meetings. I'm always the one who schedules the Outlook appointments, etc. You're enabling this behavior that people back away from doing any kind of management work and they just let you handle it.
yep.
Why is that a problem? Well, now you're always responsible for it, and if you're off on vacation, it doesn't get done, and everybody just sees you as sort of the paperwork pusher. Sometimes that work doesn't need to be done at all, and you're missing. You're robbing your team of the opportunity to find a better way to handle those things, like an automated Outlook appointment scheduler. Wouldn't that be nice? Better than you doing it and updating it every week. So anyway, don't fall into the role of project manager, and you won't conflate the two.
All right, I've got a little take on this one too. With a recent experience, I just had a one-on-one with a past student who said I really struggled taking the certification that Scrum.org offers via the class that you taught. Help me understand what's wrong, because I thought I understood everything. I'm a good test taker. I went through university flying colors. I could memorize everything in the textbooks, charts, graphs, and then I looked through these case studies and couldn't find the answers in the Scrum guide. And you're like, what am I missing? Where are the answers? And I said, tell me a little bit about your experience though with teams. And he said, oh, I love to manage people. And the thing is people love it when I manage them. Like I'm such a good people manager. And some project managers are wonderful to work with.
Uh-huh.
They are great people managers. And I think the confusion is when somebody comes from that mindset into Scrum Master, they think it's compatible, but it's not for all the reasons you just mentioned. You have to step away from that lovable spot in which you feel treasured, adored, and even maybe really like latched onto as being a dependency, and give it back to the team to let them self-manage. It comes back to that core stance. For some people, that is hard to let go of, and checking that at the door can be difficult. But project management is not an evil thing. It can be really good. Some great people, but yet it is not compatible with the accountability of Scrum Master. It's a different gig entirely.
Hey, thanks for watching that video. Did you like what you heard? If so, you're going to love our Scrum classes. See, not only do we talk about these ideas on YouTube, we're also professional Scrum trainers, and we'd love to have you in one of our classes. So if you need to level up as a Scrum Master or a product owner, maybe you need to learn how to scale Scrum or combine Kanban or UX with Scrum, click the link in our description and you'll find a list of our upcoming classes.
If you like this video, just leave us a comment. And if you got some positive feedback, we'd love to hear it. And if you've got some negative feedback, well, we'd love to hear that too.